Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, and we're going to talk about Warduke, and we're going to talk about the value of miniatures. So let me hit you with a shocking fact. All right, first of all, Warduke, he's from the Dungeons & Dragons 1980s Saturday morning cartoon. He's an evil human fighter who has been in the game since 1983, okay? All right, so Warduke is coming up on 38 years old. All right, yeah, Warduke is 38 years old. However, he has a very robust history in Dungeons & Dragons. And that robust history has landed him in different spaces, in different editions. He's been in every edition of the game. Warduke, was existing in Dungeons & Dragons 1E, impacting D&D 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 5E. And different things have happened with the character, right? His miniature, there is a 2011 miniature that was made of Warduke that was based off the Wayne Reynolds painting of Warduke that is worth $63 today. One piece of plastic, 10 years old, barely over an inch tall, $63. $63, right? So if you want to, I didn't even know Warduke existed, but I recently just found out this week that Warduke does exist as an official Dungeons & Dragons miniature, right? So there's all kinds of things that are happening here. One, if you wanted to collect all the Dungeons & Dragons miniatures, the official ones that were created by Wizards of the Coast, the Dungeons & Dragons official miniatures, they actually had their own line of D&D miniatures for a while, and they actually had and 3rd edition had a real, and that's when actually 4th edition, if this came out in 2011, then that was a 4th edition mini, right? So it's just incredible. 1 inch of plastic, just 1 decade old, costs $63, right? So there's just so many things that we can unpack from this. Let's start unpacking them, right? One, for the love of goodness, put your money on real stuff in Dungeons & Dragons. Buy the book. So abandon electronic and go physical, right? If you get real D&D minis, if you get real D&D products, they generally tend to go up in value, not down, right? And now you might have, the only question is how long do you have to wait, and how good of the condition do they need to be in, right? Whereas if you are the other way, right, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to do D&D Beyond, as it looks to me, it doesn't matter what condition you keep it in, that product is only going to get worse. The odds of it changing are high. The odds of it being pushed to a new company to manage are high, right? And we've already seen this. Unearthed Arcana was abandoned a month ago, right? So you have this product. They're supplying, they're like, Unearthed Arcana, we know it's new, but we're still going to be in the product. Nope, not anymore, right? And so generally, one of the things that seems incredibly growing to be clearer and clearer and clearer is if you get the physical product, you own it, you control it, it does not change. If you invest your money on the electronic side of Dungeons & Dragons, it almost certainly will change, and it will almost never be to your benefit, and it will almost certainly always be to the creator's benefit. So if you got dollars to spend, get them on the physical side. I would not waste $1 on one electronic thing for Dungeons & Dragons. On any digital content for Dungeons & Dragons, okay? And like, boy, oh boy, can you imagine just, open it, you probably were going to buy him in a $4 pack, right? Now, they were collectible, so you probably is, challenging to get. But that's one mini that's worth, like, it's got to be, that's over 10 times what the entire box would have been, right? So that's just an absolute incredible, increase in value. The other thing that this shows is why D&D just stomps the living crap out of indie games, right? And everybody wants to pretend that this stuff doesn't matter, right? But this mini cost $63 because it came through the filter of Dungeons & Dragons. One, it's attached to the name of Dungeons & Dragons, and that's not small, right? This mini is awesome, and the reason it's awesome is it was drawn by Wayne Reynolds, a an artist who's so good, his work has dominated. It dominated Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition art, and it dominated Pathfinder 1 and 2e, right? Like, his work is just tremendous. So Dungeons and Dragons, because it's at scale, can get the best artists in the world, right? Then once that artist has created this conception, that conception can then be molded with relationships that come from the best casters, right? And if not the best casters, casters that absolutely casters that are definitely at scale and can put out a lot of these, right? Where they can be bought at the local FLGS. So I just want to let you know, Warduke exists as a miniature. He cost $63 today. He is and I will guarantee that number will probably do nothing but go up. You know why it's going to go up? Because every 5th edition player in the world is going to be looking for him as soon as Warduke shows up in the Dungeons & Dragons official canon while Beyond the Witchlight. The value just goes up and up and up and up and up and up. So, one miniature, but a lot of ramifications. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and a wonderful millennium.